Hi, and welcome to another video of the listening practice series on my channel in English with Lisa. The short stories in these videos are all created and narrated by me. It's my voice you hear, not that of an AI, artificial intelligence program. This listening series is entirely in English, and it's separated in playlists of different levels, from A1 all the way up to C1 and C2. So, let's get started. Grab a notebook for any new vocabulary, get comfortable, and enjoy today's story. Welcome to today's short story, The Clockmaker's Daughter. Chapter 1, The Lonely Workshop. In a small village near the mountains, there lives an old clockmaker named Thomas. He has a workshop full of clocks of all sizes. The ticking sound fills the room day and night. Thomas is very good at his job, but he is also very lonely. His wife died many years ago, and they never had any children. Every morning, Thomas wakes up at exactly 6 o'clock. He doesn't need an alarm clock because his body knows the time perfectly. He makes a cup of tea and eats a simple breakfast. Then he walks downstairs to his workshop and begins his work. "Good morning, my friends," he always says to his clocks. Of course, they never answer back. They just keep ticking. Thomas has made hundreds of clocks in his life. Some are small enough to fit in your pocket. Others are tall and stand on the floor. People from all over the country have bought his clocks. They all say that Thomas's clocks are the most accurate and beautiful ones they have ever seen. But lately, Thomas has been working on something different, something special. "I have fixed so many broken things in my life," he thinks, "but I can't fix my broken heart. I have always wanted a child." So Thomas decides to build a daughter. Not a real human daughter, of course. He knows that's impossible, but a mechanical one, a clockwork daughter who will keep him company in his old age. He works on his creation for months. He uses the finest materials, polished wood, shining brass, and tiny gears that he makes himself. Every evening he sits at his workbench until midnight, carefully putting all the pieces together. The villagers have noticed that Thomas hasn't made any new clocks lately. They wonder what he is doing in his workshop. Sometimes they see lights on very late at night. "What is Thomas making now?" they ask each other. "Maybe he has finally lost his mind," some of them joke. But Thomas doesn't care what they think. He has a dream, and he is going to make it come true. Finally, after a year of hard work, the mechanical girl is finished. She is about the size of a 10-year-old child. Her body is made of wood and metal, but Thomas has given her a face that looks almost human. Her eyes are made of blue glass, and her hair is made of fine copper wires that shine like gold in the sunlight. Thomas winds up the key in her back, and the mechanical girl opens her eyes. "Hello," says Thomas nervously. "My name is Thomas. I am your father." The girl looks at him. Then, slowly, she smiles. "Hello, father," she says in a voice that sounds like small bells ringing. Thomas has programmed her to say some basic things, to walk around the house and to help him in his workshop. He has given her the name Clara. "Clara," he says, "welcome to your new home." For the first time in many years, Thomas is not alone anymore. Chapter 1, Comprehension Questions. Number 1. Why does Thomas decide to build a mechanical daughter? A. He wants to sell a new kind of clock. B. He feels lonely and wants a companion. C. He wants to impress the villagers. The correct answer is B. He feels lonely and wants a companion. Number 2. What materials does Thomas use to build Clara? A. Plastic and rubber. B. Paper and glue. C. Wood, brass, and tiny gears. The correct answer is C. Wood, brass, and tiny gears. Number 3. How do the villagers react to Thomas spending so much time in his workshop? A. They help him with his work. B. They are curious and make jokes about him. C. They call the police. The correct answer is B. They are curious and make jokes about him. Chapter 2. More than clockwork. 3 months have passed since Thomas created Clara. Spring has arrived, and the village is full of flowers. Thomas and Clara have settled into a nice routine. Every morning, Thomas winds up Clara's key, and they have breakfast together. Then they work side by side in the workshop. Clara learns very quickly. Thomas has taught her how to clean and oil the clocks. She can now fix simple problems by herself. Her small fingers are perfect for working with tiny gears. But something strange has started to happen. Clara has begun to say things that Thomas hasn't programmed her to say. She asks questions about the world outside the workshop. "Father, why do the birds sing?" she asked one day. Thomas is surprised. He never expected Clara to be curious. "Because they are happy, I suppose," he answers. "Am I happy, Father?" Clara asks. Thomas doesn't know what to say. Can a mechanical being feel happiness? He thought Clara was just a complex machine, but now he's not so sure. One night, Thomas finds Clara looking out of the window at the stars. "What are you doing, Clara?" he asks. "I'm counting the stars," she says. "They are so beautiful." "But you should be in sleep mode now," says Thomas. He hasn't programmed her to appreciate beauty or to stay awake at night. "I had a dream last night," Clara says. "I dreamed that I was flying among those stars. Is that possible, Father? Can I fly?" Thomas is shocked. "Dreams? How can a mechanical girl have dreams?" "Clara, tell me more about these dreams," he says. Clara tells him that she has been having dreams for weeks now. She dreams about flying, about talking to animals, about visiting faraway places that she has only heard about from Thomas's stories. Thomas sits down heavily on a chair. This is impossible. He has made a complex machine, yes, but he hasn't made something that can dream. Dreams come from the human soul, from the human mind. How can Clara have dreams? Father, is something wrong? Clara asks, looking concerned. No, nothing is wrong, Thomas says. You're just more special than I thought. The next day, Thomas examines Clara carefully. Everything seems normal. All the gears and springs are working as they should. There's nothing in her design that could explain her ability to dream or to learn things he hasn't taught her. Thomas comes to a wonderful and frightening conclusion. Clara has somehow developed a consciousness. She is no longer just a machine. She has become something more. Clara, he says that evening, I think you are becoming a real person. But I'm made of wood and metal, Clara says. Real people are made of flesh and blood. Being a real person is not about what you're made of, Thomas says. It's about thinking, feeling, and dreaming. And you do all those things. Clara smiles, and her blue glass eyes seem to sparkle with joy. But Thomas is worried. If others find out that Clara is more than just a mechanical doll, what will they do? Will they be afraid of her? Will they want to take her away from him? He decides to keep Clara's development a secret for now. But secrets are hard to keep in a small village. Chapter 2, Comprehension Questions. Number 1. What surprises Thomas about Clara's behavior? A. She doesn't follow instructions. B. She starts having dreams and asking questions. C. She breaks down often. The correct answer is B. She starts having dreams and asking questions. Number 2. What does Thomas conclude about Clara by the end of the chapter? A. She needs to be fixed. B. She is too dangerous to keep. C. She is becoming a real person. The correct answer is C. She is becoming a real person. Number 3. Why is Thomas worried about other people discovering Clara's abilities? A. They might think she's haunted. B. They might want to destroy or take her away. C. They will want to buy her. The correct answer is B. They might want to destroy or take her away. Chapter 3. The Secret Revealed. Summer has come, and the days are long and warm. Thomas and Clara have continued their peaceful life together. Clara has learned to read books from Thomas's small library. She loves stories about adventures and faraway lands. Father, can we visit the ocean someday? She asks after reading a book about sailors. Perhaps, Thomas says, but he knows it would be risky to take Clara out of the village. People would ask questions about the strange girl who needs to be wound up with a key. Unfortunately, the decision is taken out of his hands. One day, while Thomas is out buying supplies, a customer comes into the workshop. Clara, who has been taught to be polite, opens the door. The customer is Professor Heinrich, a scientist from the city university. He has come to ask Thomas to repair his antique pocket watch. When he sees Clara, he is amazed. "What a remarkable automaton!" he exclaims. "So lifelike! Who made you, little one?" "My father made me," Clara says proudly. "His name is Thomas, and he is the best clockmaker in the world." Professor Heinrich is fascinated. He asks Clara many questions, and she answers them all. She even tells him about her dreams of flying among the stars. When Thomas returns home, he finds the professor examining Clara with great interest. "Ah, Thomas," the professor says, "you have created something extraordinary here. A mechanical being that dreams. This is a scientific miracle." Thomas feels a chill run down his spine. "Clara is just a complex automaton," he says. "Nothing more." But the professor shakes his head. "No, my friend, she is much more than that. She has developed a consciousness. Do you realize what this means for science? We must study her. We must understand how this happened." "No," says Thomas firmly. "Clara is not an experiment. She is my daughter." The professor leaves, but Thomas knows this isn't the end, and he's right. The next day, the professor returns with 2 other scientists. They want to take Clara to their laboratory to study her. "We'll bring her back when we understand how she works," they promise. "But you'll have to take her apart to do that," Thomas says. "You'll destroy her." "Sometimes sacrifices must be made for science," the professor says. Thomas refuses to let them take Clara, but the scientists are determined. They say they will return with official permission to take Clara for scientific research. Thomas knows they don't have much time. That night, he tells Clara the truth. "We have to leave, Clara. It's not safe for you here anymore." "Where will we go, Father?" Clara asks. "I have an old friend who lives in a lighthouse by the sea," Thomas says. "We'll go there. You'll finally see the ocean." They pack their essential belongings, and Thomas takes all his savings. Before dawn, they leave the village. Thomas has left a note saying they have gone to visit relatives in another country. The journey to the lighthouse is long and difficult. They travel by night and hide during the day. Clara never complains, even when her mechanisms need oiling and start to squeak. Finally, after 2 weeks of traveling, they reach the lighthouse. Thomas's friend, an old sailor named Jack, welcomes them warmly. "Any friend of Thomas is a friend of mine," he tells Clara, "and this is the perfect place for someone who dreams of the sea." The lighthouse is isolated, standing on a cliff overlooking the vast ocean. Here, Clara can be free. She spends hours watching the waves and the seagulls. Thomas sets up a small workshop in one of the rooms where he can maintain Clara and also make clocks to sell in the nearby town. One evening, As they watch the sunset from the lighthouse, Clara says, "Father, I have been thinking. The scientists wanted to understand how I can dream, but they were looking in the wrong place." "What do you mean?" Thomas asks. "They wanted to look inside my gears and springs," Clara said. "But dreams don't come from metal or wood. They come from love. You made me with love, and that's why I can dream." Thomas hugs his clockwork daughter, tears in his eyes. "You are wiser than any human I know, Clara." They continue to live peacefully in the lighthouse. Sometimes Thomas worries that the scientists might find them, but as the years pass, their fears fade away. Clara continues to grow in her own special way. She learns to paint beautiful pictures of the sea. She makes friends with the local children who accept her unusual nature without questions. And every morning, when Thomas winds up her key, Clara tells him about her dreams. Dreams of flying among the stars, dreams of exploring the depths of the ocean, and dreams of a future where everyone, whether made of flesh or clockwork, is free to follow their heart. Chapter 3 Comprehension Questions. Number 1. What is Professor Heinrich's reaction when he meets Clara? A. He is frightened and runs away. B. He is amazed and wants to study her. C. He wants to buy her for his daughter. The correct answer is B. He is amazed and wants to study her. Number 2. What does Clara believe is the reason she can dream? A. Because she is advanced technology. B. Because she is part human. C. Because she was made with love. The correct answer is C. Because she was made with love. Number 3. How does the story end? A. Clara is taken by the scientists. B. Thomas and Clara live happily in a lighthouse. C. Thomas builds another mechanical child. The correct answer is B. Thomas and Clara live happily in a lighthouse. Epilogue. 10 years later. 10 years have passed since Thomas and Clara found their home by the lighthouse. Clara has grown in ways Thomas never imagined possible. Every morning, Clara still needs her key wound, but she now helps run a small clock shop in the nearby village. The local people know her story and accept her as she is. Thomas's hair has turned completely white, and his hands sometimes shake when working with tiny gears. But Clara's fingers remain steady and precise. "Father, look what I made," Clara says one evening, holding a small mechanical bird. Thomas examines it carefully. When Clara winds its key, the bird sings a beautiful melody and its wings move as if ready to fly. "I made it for the lighthouse keeper's daughter," Clara explains. "She wanted a friend who could sing with her." Thomas smiles with pride. His clockwork daughter is now creating life of her own kind. "You have given something special to this world, Clara," he says softly. As they walk home along the cliff path, The setting sun turns the ocean to gold. Clara takes her father's arm to steady him. "We've found our place in the world," she says. "That's all anyone dreams of, isn't it?" The end. Thank you for watching this video until the end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notifications bell. This isn't an artificial intelligence. The story was narrated by In English with Lisa. I'm a native speaking teacher, and this is my real voice. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I love hearing from all of you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications bell so you never miss a new lesson. Plus, you'll help my channel grow, and you'll give me the possibility to create other videos that you can watch for free. See you soon. Bye.